Hi friends, it's Stephanie with Stefsonabudget. Welcome back for another video. It is time to set up our next budget with me. So we are looking to set up our August 25th paycheck, but for me, this will technically be considered part of my September budget. So we're going to pay everything here in yellow, and then we'll have to look into September because we've got a few things in September that we're going to be paying as well. So let's go ahead and pull out our bill tracker to set up, and we'll have to kind of flip between the 2 months here. So this will be a very interesting paycheck, I guess is a good way to say it. Probably not quite as interesting as the next one, but essentially I have been a salary position, and there is kind of been, I don't know, I probably shouldn't get into all of that, but needless to say, starting the 28th of August, my position's actually moving to an hourly position. So it's no longer going to be, all the time the same, which is nice. But in actuality, I'm looking forward to the hourly because we definitely work more than 40 hours in this position. So it'll be nice to be compensated for those hours. So yeah, but these first two checks are going to be kind of a pain. So really what I'm preparing for is the first September paycheck on the 8th. So, when your salary, you're paid, most people pay like in arrears, right? So what that means is usually you have to work like 3 weeks before you get a paycheck, right? But my position paid you concurrently. So you just got paid, for your hours. So my September 8th paycheck will only be for 1 week's pay, which is super scary and of course that paycheck we have a ton of bills. So I want to spend this paycheck preparing for it. I honestly wish I would have had a lot more time, but they really last minute announced this change, which is unfortunate and kind of BS if you ask me, but it just is what it is. So we'll have to work with what we have to work with. One good thing is that this paycheck of August 25th, I'm not sure why they wouldn't just do it on the September 8th paycheck when we're getting paid for 1 week instead of 2, but I don't know. I don't work in payroll. So we are getting like $1,000 stipend with this pay period to help cover that lack of pay for being paid in arrears. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, I guess it's neither here nor there. I've always said boring budgeting is good. It just means there's not like a lot of financial upheaval, which is nice, right? We kind of like steady and what we know what we're working with. There's not a lot of surprises. It's about to get a little eventful for the next month, I think, which eventually I think will be a good thing, but it's a little scary and nerve-wracking right now. So let's go ahead and get prepared for our August 25th paycheck. Basically, I was just trying to explain all that because normally when we have extra, we're hitting sinking funds and extra debt and savings challenges, and we are probably going to hoard it like the dragon's treasure to get us through for the next pay period. So this will be our pay 1, our pay 2, and then we'll have that stipend. Okay, so pay 1 should be normal, so I'm going to budget $26.90 for that. And then let me bring you in too, guys. So sorry for the bump here. Okay, there we go. And then pay 2, I'm just going to budget the minimum and we'll work with it. And then we're gonna get that stipend, but it is gonna be taxed. So I'm gonna plan for 800. It's just best guess, guys, best guess. So what is that gonna look like for us as far as income? 5190. Okay. All right. And then bills, as always, we have half of our mortgage. We have our iCloud. That'll be an automatic. Okay, and then we've got Disney Plus, which is also automatic. Oh, let's put in the amounts, huh? That might be helpful. Okay, so our half of our mortgage, it's gonna be $1150, 11 for the iCloud, 12 for Disney Plus. What else do we have? We have our cell phone bill. Okay, and we're gonna budget $312. And if you're new here, that might seem like a lot. We pay for, what is this for? We pay for, I always forget, is it 5 or 6 lines? Six lines. And then we also pay for like cellular data on a iPad. So that's what that is. Okay, then we have our, okay, so normally we'd have our Apple card. Remember we paid that off last month, yay. And we should have a $200 debt snowball. Although I don't think we're gonna be putting that towards debt this time. So I'm just looking at my monthly spread here, you guys. Okay, we're on track here. Okay, then we have student loan payments are starting back up September 1. So hopefully you guys are all prepared for that. I think I can finally see what my minimum payment is going to be, which is about $95, which is what it was before all this deferment, and we just always slap 100 towards that. So we're officially back to paying that. And then we have our internet. Okay. And that's $60 for the internet. And we have our truck payment for $10.13, or at least we're gonna round up to that. Okay, so that is fixed expenses. So at least those are somewhat lower. Okay, so that gives us $2,658. And if we take that from the 5190, that leaves us with 2,532. Okay, we're gonna bring that down here. Okay, I just kind of wanted to take that 800 out because realistically we're not spending $1 of that. So the 2,532. So then we're going to fill in our variable expenses. And I'm so sorry, you guys. My daughter stayed after school for a wrestling thing. So she's kind of working on like becoming the wrestling manager for her school. And so she's texting me. I just want to make sure she's okay. So small interruption and I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, friends. Okay, so for our variable expenses, we have our groceries, Costco, gas, miscellaneous, house and beauty, spending money, and water, and takeout. Okay. Not a lot of change here. milk finally came down to like under $3 a gallon, but we're still gonna budget our 300. Costco, I think I'm going to, normally this would fill and we do a beginning of the month shop, but I think I'm just gonna half it and do 100 this time. Gas is gonna get its $1.75. Our gas is back up to $4 a gallon, yay. So the second one thing comes down, another goes up. And miscellaneous is 40, house and beauty is gonna get its 40, spending its usual 38 for water and 100 towards takeout. So it should be $11.93, but let's just add it up and double check. Yes, $11.93. Okay, and if we take that from the 25.32, whoops, that leaves us with $13.39. As far as like debt and sinking funds go, I think we'll fare okay if we don't put anything in any of the sinking funds. And so this $13.39, we're gonna roll all of it over for the next 2 weeks, because if you figure it's only worth 1 week, so I'm just guessing, really, there's no way to really know. I'm just taking my normal 2 week, dividing it by 2, that's $13.45. So if we add in the $13.39, we're at least close to what we normally get paid. So that is definitely going to be our plan. So September is probably going to be like minimum debt payments, nothing else, probably not much to savings until that second check in September when it's back to kind of its normal. Yeah, so kind of boring. So we're going to skip sinking funds, we're going to skip extra debt, and we are going to just come down here to extra savings. We've got $13.93, and we're just going to call this rollover, and we're going to put every penny. So that is going to give us a zero-based budget. So not a very long budget video because there's not much happening, but again, a big change, and I just want to make sure that we're prepared to get through September. So that is a look at the budget with me for August 25th's upcoming paycheck. A little bit different. If you guys have ever been in this kind of situation before, I'd love to hear your thoughts and how that went for you, and if you have any recommendations to kind of prepare. Like I said, it's super last minute announcement, so unfortunately there's not much to prepare for. We have a check, right? So yeah, just leave me any comments below if this is something you've experienced and any recommendations you might have. And we will do a little bit of a cash stuffing, and then if we have any rollover, we might have a little bit of funds to put towards savings challenges, but we'll just have to wait and see when we get closer to the end of the week. But if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for coming back and joining me for another Budget With Me, friends. If you haven't subscribed already, I'd hope you'd consider subscribing and hit that subscribe button down below, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, friends.